When she limped into the courtroom, everyone looked at her with pity. Her uniform hung loose in a way that reminded everyone how it used to fit. The medals on her arm caught the light. A bailiff tried not to stare at the scar running from her shoulder to her jaw. Snickers rippled through the gallery. Even the judge allowed himself a smirk. She gripped the rail, waited for the laughter to spend itself like cheap fireworks, and said 9 words that turned the room's temperature to winter. 9 words that made the judge's pen stop mid-scratch. 9 words that made the defense table go very, very still. If you've ever watched a room turn a woman into a joke, then learned in one breath how catastrophically wrong the room was, stay with this story. 8 months earlier, Syria, Deir ez-Zor Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez, 26 years old, was watching the sunrise during her morning patrol. Her team was 6 people. Routine checkpoint. Nobody expected trouble. Lieutenant said Private James Carter, a young soldier, maybe 22 years old. There's a new depot in this area. Commander wants us to check it out. Maya looked at the map. This depot isn't in the official records. I know. Carter hesitated, but the order came. From Major Stevens. Maya knew Stevens. A 15-year veteran officer. Tough, but fair. Or so she thought. Okay, Maya said. Let's go, but stay alert. When they arrived at the depot, everything looked normal. Metal containers, standard equipment. But Carter noticed something. Lieutenant, these barcodes, they're erased. Maya approached. He was right. The barcodes had been scratched off, numbers unreadable. Carter, take photos of everything. At that moment, Carter's phone rang. He looked at the screen, and his face changed. Lieutenant, this number, it's General Morrison's private line. Maya froze. Why would a general call you? Carter couldn't answer because that's when the explosion happened. Now. Military Courtroom, March 22nd, 2024, 9:15. Maya's eyes remembered that moment. Flames, screams, the fear in Carter's eyes. She brought herself back to the present. In the courtroom, standing, being judged, Judge William Hayes peered over his glasses and asked, Lieutenant Rodriguez, do you understand the charges? Maya's voice came out clear. I understand, Your Honor. Disobeying orders, losing military equipment, making false statements. And I deny all of them. Prosecutor Colonel Marcus Bennett stood up, in his 50s, mustached, self-assured. Behind him were 5 more lawyers. Lieutenant Rodriguez. Bennett's voice was challenging. For a young, inexperienced officer like you to go against a major with 15 years of experience, is that brave or foolish? Maya raised her head. Neither brave nor foolish. Necessary. Necessary. Bennett laughed. On July 18th, Major Stevens gave you an order. Go, get the equipment, bring it back. Simple, but you didn't go. No, Maya corrected. I went, but I asked questions. Bennett pulled a file from his desk. According to Major Stevens's report, you disobeyed orders, left your sector without permission, and as a result, $2 million worth of military equipment was lost. That report is a lie, Maya said calmly. Murmurs from the gallery. Judge Hayes struck his gavel. Bennett's eyes gleamed. Lieutenant, are you calling Major Stevens a liar? Yes. Silence. Bennett smiled. He was expecting this. So where's your proof? Oh, wait. He slapped his forehead dramatically. You don't even have a lawyer. You're defending yourself. Yes. Maya opened her laptop. Because truth doesn't need a lawyer. An audio file appeared on the screen. Evidence 1, Maya said. July 18th, 2:30 p.m. Recording of my conversation with Major Stevens. Hayes leaned forward. Why did you record it? Maya turned. Because I'd heard that Stevens had lost $500,000 worth of ammunition 3 months earlier. Nobody investigated. Nobody asked. I asked. Bennett jumped up. Objection. Hearsay and slander, Hayes thought. Let's hear the recording. Maya pressed play. Stevens's voice filled the room. Stevens, Rodriguez, go to the Eastern Depot. Get the equipment that's not on the list. The operation isn't official. Maya, what operation, sir? Which higher authority? Stevens, you don't need to know. Get it, bring it, shut up. Maya, sir, this is against regulations. It needs to be in the records. Stevens, Rodriguez, either you do it or we'll see each other in court. The recording ended. The room was silent. Bennett tried to recover. This is just a conversation. An order. No. Maya clicked on the screen. This is a threat. And let's move to evidence 2. GPS coordinates appeared on the screen. July 18th, 3 p.m. I arrived at the depot, but the equipment wasn't there. Instead, there were empty boxes, erased barcodes. She showed photographs, empty depots, scratched off numbers. And the depot guard, Private James Carter, told me something. Maya paused. She gathered her breath. This part was hard. Carter said, the equipment was taken 3 days ago. A civilian truck came. License plates were fake. And he gave me a phone number. A phone number appeared on the screen. Bennett laughed. A phone number? Is that your evidence? Maya looked at him. There was a cold light in her eyes. This number, she said slowly, is General Richard Morrison's private line. The gallery exploded. Reporters jumped to their feet. General Morrison, sitting in the back row, froze. Hayes struck his gavel repeatedly. Order! Order! Bennett had turned crimson. Objection! This is a conspiracy theory. Why would a general... Because General Morrison has been selling military equipment on the black market for the last 2 years. Maya interrupted, and Carter discovered it. Morrison stood up. This is nonsense. 2 military police officers approached him. He had to sit down. Maya continued. Carter told me everything. How equipment was disappearing. How fake reports were being written. How the money was being split. And that night, Carter died. Silence. Heavy, painful silence. Official report, suicide. But Carter left me a message. 2 hours before he died. Maya inserted the USB Carter's voice, trembling but clear. Carter, Lieutenant Maya, if you're listening to this, it means I'm dead. Stevens threatened me. Shut up, or your family will pay, he said. And they're acting on General Morrison's orders. Lieutenant, please, bring justice. I was a coward, but you're not. Maya's eyes filled, but she didn't cry. Carter wasn't a coward, she said. He was brave. He was only 22 years old, and he told the truth. And that's why he was killed. Bennett stood up, but didn't know what to say. Maya continued. Carter had given me all the financial records, bank accounts, transfers, shell companies. An Excel file appeared on the screen, row after row of numbers. Here are the transfers from the last 2 years. Total $4.2 million. To General Morrison, $1.8 million to Major Stevens, and $600,000. She paused. To Colonel Marcus Bennett. The gallery screamed. Bennett staggered backward. This is a lie. I never. Evidence 7. Maya opened another file. Your account in the Cayman Islands. Under the name MB Consulting LLC. Last deposit 3 days ago. $50,000. Bennett's face went white. Maya showed the final evidence. And evidence 8. The explosion report. A technical report appeared on the screen. The explosion on July 18th wasn't an accident. It was C4 explosive, remotely detonated to kill Carter. Hayes' hand was trembling. Lieutenant, these are very serious accusations. I know, Your Honor. Maya turned. That's why let me show my final evidence. A video appeared on the screen. Security camera footage. July 17th, 11 p.m. Military depot security camera. In the video, 2 figures appeared in the darkness. One was Stevens. The other, General Morrison, Maya said, planting the C4. The video wasn't clear, but it was clear enough. Morrison jumped to his feet. Security! This woman is a liar. Military police grabbed him. Stevens tried to run from the gallery but was caught. Bennett collapsed, put his head on the desk. Maya stood. The cane was trembling, but she wasn't. "Your Honor," she said, "I didn't obey orders because the orders were murder. The equipment wasn't lost. It was stolen. And Carter was killed because he was brave." Maya raised her cane like a salute. Private James Carter, 22 years old, was killed while serving his country by his own commanders. This trial is for him. The entire room stood. Applause. Tears. Hayes raised his gavel but couldn't speak. His eyes were filled. Finally, he said, "All charges I dismissed. Lieutenant Rodriguez, the court apologizes to you." Maya nodded. "And General Morrison, Major Stevens, Colonel Bennett, you are under arrest." FBI agents entered. Handcuffs were applied. Morrison looked at Maya. "You finished me." Maya replied, "No." "You finished yourself. I just counted." 2 years later, Pentagon Military Justice Department Major Maya Rodriguez, she'd been promoted, sat at her desk. The cane stood in the corner. She didn't use it anymore. Across from her, the Secretary of Defense. "Major Rodriguez," the secretary said, "your case created historic changes. 89 corruption investigations were opened, 23 generals, 47 officers arrested, a total of $180 million recovered." Maya listened. "And now we have a special offer for you. Would you like to become commander of the Military Internal Investigation Unit?" Maya thought. She thought of Carter, that young soldier, that brave kid. "I accept," she said, "on one condition." "What is it?" "Establish a foundation in Carter's name to protect military whistleblowers, so no one is ever silenced again." The secretary smiled. "Agreed." Maya stood up, didn't take the cane. "And one more thing," she said. "Yes? From now on, in every courtroom, write Carter's words. 'I was a coward, but you're not.' It will be done." Maya walked to the door. No limp anymore. The surgeons had done good work, but the scars were still there, on her shoulder, her leg, her soul. And each scar reminded her, some battles are won in courtrooms. If a room ever laughed at you, remember, truth is never ridiculous. And sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a rifle, it's evidence. Maya Rodriguez entered as a lieutenant, left as a legend, and Carter's name was never forgotten because some heroes die on the battlefield. Some die for telling the truth, but all deserve to be remembered.